Hi, my name is Sophia Scouten, and I'm a senior at Corning Painted Post High School and a proud scholar athlete. Even though I'm a Corning Hawk, I wanted to tell you about another athlete who I believe should be emulated and remembered. He was an Elmira Free Academy Blue Devil named Ernie Davis. If you ask people today who Ernie Davis was, some might recall that he was the first Black recipient of the Heisman Trophy. And while that feat should be honored and celebrated, there was much more to Ernie than that. Ernie Davis was born on December 14, 1939 in New Salem, Pennsylvania. He was raised with the help of his maternal grandparents after the death of his father, but moved to Elmira around the age of 12 to live with his mother and stepfather. While growing up, Ernie was a standout athlete. He attended the former Elmira Free Academy, where he excelled in baseball, basketball, and football. At the conclusion of high school, he was heavily recruited by colleges to play football, but he chose to go to Syracuse University at the persuasion of Syracuse alum and one of the greatest running backs of all time, Jim Brown. While at Syracuse, Ernie, number 44, earned All-American honors twice, and in 1961 received the Heisman Trophy, the highest honor a college football player can receive. During his career at Syracuse, a sports reporter coined the nickname the Elmira Express. Express is now the mascot used by Elmira High School and Ernie Davis Academy Junior High School. His likeliness resides as a reminder to everyone of his intelligence, strength, and character. Surrounding the base of his stature are all the pillars of a character that Ernie lived by: caring, respect, fairness, citizenship, responsibility, and trustworthiness. Ernie was the first pick in the 1962 NFL Draft and was traded by Washington to the Cleveland Browns. At the time, when Ernie had the world in his hands, he was given a devastating diagnosis of terminal leukemia. Sadly, due to his illness, Ernie never got to play for the Browns and passed away on May 18, 1963, at the age of 23. Both number 44, Syracuse University, and number 45, his Cleveland Browns number, have been retired. Whether you take the field, court, or gymnasium this year, you should strive to be just like Ernie. When Ernie was a young athlete, he often showed consideration for other athletes who were smaller in stature than he was. It was said that instead of tackling them during football, he would hold them in the air until the play was over and let them down. He never sought to humiliate his opponents. Ernie also had a reputation of protecting others from bullying or taunts. When Ernie became ill with terminal leukemia, he worried about how others felt and downplayed his own condition to help them feel better. In what ways can you show compassion to your teammates, coaches, officials, and people in your community? As a standout athlete, Ernie gravitated toward the second-string players, often giving the ball to them to give them the opportunity to score and feel a greater connection to the team. He strived to make all athletes feel welcomed on the field or court. How are you reaching out to your teammates? Are you helping others feel like they are just as important on the team? Players and coaches that knew Ernie have said that he did not like running up to score on teams that were not as equal in ability. He was humble and never took credit for much of the ways that he included others. He was extremely modest about his accomplishments. What are some ways you can show fairness, sportsmanship, or even leadership in your sport? Ernie broke records and received awards during a time of civil unrest. He stood up against injustice, even refusing his 1960 Cotton Bowl MVP award due to segregation policies. Can you stand up for others even when it's difficult? Ernie was always helping those in need. Ernie's teammates and friends often described his innate kindness and modesty. He helped younger, less experienced teammates learn the ropes and spoke up when others would tease them. How do you take and show responsibility in your sport? Ernie was a man of his word, always dependable and reliable both on and off the field. People who truly knew Ernie knew that the strength of his character was strong, just like his athletic ability. President John F. Kennedy said in a telegram to Ernie, "It's a privilege for me to address you tonight as an outstanding American, as worthy example of our youth. I salute you." Ben Schwartzwadler, his football coach at Syracuse, said, "I never met another human being as good as Ernie." When you are competing in your sport this year and beyond, What will your character say about you? How do you want to be remembered by your coaches, teammates, officials, and fans? The answer to those questions should be easy. Be just like Ernie.